Hey, so I'm going to start my, in-depth review of what I love about Phantom. So it's probably going to take me a really long time because I'm really busy because finals are coming up. So I'm pre-warning everybody that my outfits will change during the course of the video, and that it's not really a big deal, but it kind of bugs me sometimes, and it's really annoying for me to have to put like the comments like down here with the, oh look, I have a different outfit again. So I'm just forewarning you that that is about to happen. So let's start, I guess, with the prologue, which I really enjoy. I'm also going to attempt not to make too many references to Love Never Dies, like how the prologue in Love Never Dies is not as cool as the one in Phantom, but I'll try and keep my bitter, angry comments to myself about that sort of thing. Okay, so the prologue. Well, sorry, this is the Love Never Dies thing, but I don't really see how the prologue would work if Love Never Dies happened, because for all intents and purposes, when Raoul leaves, he knows that Christine shows the Phantom. You can see my other rant about how I feel about the choice in Love Never Dies. But, so I don't know if he'd still be pining after her when he gets the music box and is like, she often spoke of you, blah blah blah. I think he kind of would be really upset about that. And anyway, that part is actually really haunting to me. I feel like when he says, will you still play when all the rest of us are dead? Like, it's just so final and eerie, like, just kind of setting up the show, with the creepiness, I guess. So yeah, I really like that part. I really like how all the statues are covered in the, like, around the show, or the stage, and with the sheets, and to make it look old and stuff. And there's just, when that overture just, bam, like, wow, like, I just don't even know, it's just, hearing the music is so uplifting, and everyone knows, well, most people who watch my video have seen the Phantom of the Opera, so they know what's gonna happen, and I know the whole show, but just hearing that blast of music is just, and watching the chandelier rise is just, there's no feeling like it, just sitting there and seeing it all happen, and then they rip off the sheets, and it's like the splendor of the opera house. So freaking cool. Comes Hannibal, which is one of the parts that I actually do remember from the first time I saw it when I was really young, is the elephant that Piangi has to get on, and then it turns around, and there's the people inside drinking. My, preteen mind thought that was hilarious. But I love Hannibal so much. I love the dancing and the costumes. Just, you can't really see when it's, pictures, you have pictures of the costumes, but like Christine's, even the slave girl dresses, her big skirt when she turns into, Alyssa, not really turns into, takes over Carlotta's role, they're just so magnificent and rich and beautiful on stage. They sparkle, they shine, they shimmer, it's gorgeous. Although, I have to say, I'm quite undecided as to which costume version I like better, because I'm enough of a fan/freak to have studied the differences, where the Broadway version and the US versions have with the rope skirt, the stripe continues downward, so it's like red and then green and then red again, whereas in the West End version it kind of all mixes together, and they don't have, like, the continuation of the bodice doesn't happen. So I can never decide, I flip-flop which one I like better, but they're glorious, and I love point. I used to do point. You can sort of see my point shoes on the back on my microwave. You can't. It's not a big deal. And I'm semi-disappointed that a lot of the Christines nowadays don't do point. And I just love the banter that goes on while they're doing the scenes, like when he's giving the opera house and Madame Giry comes in and Christine runs in, and it's just so chaotic, like a rehearsal would be. Although I think I like the movie line better, where he says, "Gentlemen, good luck. If you need me, I shall be in Australia," even though he says Frankfurt in the show, which makes more sense, I guess, if, you, like, live near to there. To most Americans, it probably doesn't make any sense, and Australia's funnier. I don't really know if he would have gone to Australia, but hey, he can do what he wants. So yeah, and then I love when they do the audience to the back of the stage thing, so it's like she's bowing and her back is to you and you can see, like, behind the curtain. It just, that is a brilliant set design. Like, that was a genius move, and I really, really like it. And Think of Me is one of my favorite songs because it's such a good metaphor. Like, if you listen to the lyrics, some parts could be Christine talking to the Phantom, and the Phantom talking to Christine about how they remember the good times, and, they won't stop thinking of each other, but they've moved on, which is a good metaphor, and kind of foreshadowing for the end, which I'm a huge fan of. And so I actually have to be perfectly honest with everyone. I rarely listen to or pay attention to the song Angel of Music. I mean, it's short. It's honestly, by the point in the show, oh, I can't talk, I am eagerly anticipating the Phantom's entrance, so I kind of just am like, oh, it's coming, because I know what's going to happen, and, so it's a nice song. They get to show off their voices, sort of. Christine sings about the angel and how she's actually kind of scared of him, which she should be. She doesn't know yet why, but anyway, and then Meg has to go to rehearsal, which is right behind the dressing room, which is so cool. It's like very atmospheric when they're doing all their dances as Raul and Christine are talking, and then just in the background it's creepy but cool. Yeah, so I also, Little Lottie is fine. I'm just eagerly anticipating the mirror. But what I think is fun about Little Lottie is it's actually a game that they used to play. I don't know if any of you know that, but it's actually a game, and so when Raul's saying, am I fonder of dolls or of goblins or shoes, that's actually a question, like legit, and they used to play this game. And if anybody knows the answer to which one she would prefer, dolls, goblins, shoes, and then riddles, frocks, and chocolates is another one. If you can tell me the answer, I mean, I don't really know how I would get a prize to you. I'll probably just recognize you in my next video and say, like, hey, good job, people. So if you know the secret to the game, Little Lottie, post a comment down below. That'll be cool. That's a fun thing, fun trivia fact. If you don't, I'll tell the answer eventually. Anyway, so my favorite part, one of my favorite parts of the show is the mirror. When she locks the door, and then just that first time you hear him, I mean, it's not the first time you hear him sing, but it's like the first time you hear him sing a full sentence. So the entrance is so powerful when she's just sitting at the desk, and the music's getting like all that sort of intense, like, and then it's just like, bam, and you're like, and then I love that part. It's probably one of my favorite parts in the entire show, movie, book, everything, when he appears in the mirror and takes her to his lair. And I just think it's so cool when he sings, look at your face in the mirror, I am there inside, and you can see him appear, and it's just, such an awesome effect, and he just is there, and then when he's all, John Cudia does it really awesomely, where he, like, unfurls his cloak, and then pushes open the mirror, and she walks through, and then Raul somehow gets in the room, because the door magically unlocks, which is, like, freaky awesome, and he's like, oh, where'd they go? And then, I always like the body double cross, where they go down into the basement, and then they appear back up on top of the stage, which I guess is another body double, I'm pretty sure, and then, there is nothing as epic in the Phantom of the Opera as the song The Phantom of the Opera. It's so rock and roll-y and intense, and then just my favorite part of the song is when the candles emerge from the lake, and they just, with the fog, and it's so epic, and just the boat through it. I mean, there's absolutely nothing like that scene. It's just, I don't even know how to describe how much I love it. It's so atmospheric, and, like, I don't know. I just love that part. And then I love the ending, even though it's pre-recorded, where she sings the high E, and it's like I like when the Phantoms do it, where she starts to sing and they kind of like draw it out of her. It just makes it so much more like he's got these crazy powers or something, even though he doesn't really, he's just an amazing genius and stuff. He can't really pull her voice out, but just the way it makes it seem like he's like hypnotized her and is making her sing these crazy high notes because she can, and because he's an amazing teacher, and just so good. definitely a highlight of the show.